There's political tensions more than ever. The world is getting hotter than it's ever been before. The record temperatures in 2023 and, plan to even beat that here in 2024. Everybody's got a side gig. I mean, there's just something new is being birthed right now in this world. And there's a lot of uncertainty. There's more opportunities than ever before, sure, but there's also more uncertainty than ever has happened. And so what is going on? What is being asked to come through? Welcome to the Rising Leader Podcast, bringing forth the new wave of rising leadership and helping leaders find purpose, connection, and results. This is your host, founder of Alluviants, Alex Kremer. What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Rising Leader Podcast. This is your host, Alex Kremer. This is going to be the second, yes, I said the second podcast where I'm going to be just dropping in some stuff that has been going on in the world of tech sales and leadership in corporations, in the community of Alluviants and the sales professionals, leaders, and founders that are here. And it's a topic that I actually really enjoy quite a bit because it speaks a lot to the nuance that we are in today, this new world that we are entering into. And I want to give a couple examples just to tee this up first. I recently read this book. It's called The Fourth Turning. And The Fourth Turning is really, it was a book that was written in 1997, and it predicted a whole bunch of stuff that ended up coming true, specifically because the premise of it is history repeats itself every 80 years or so, every 80 years. And it goes back and it gives examples of 1776, there was the American Revolution, where there was a group of people that were not getting treated fairly or did not feel like they had what they wanted, and they went against a tyrant, something that was trying to subjugate them, and they won, and they created a whole new model for the world, right? They created this whole freedom movement, one can say. 80 years later, history repeated itself where there was the Civil War. Now, while this was a different situation, it was still people weren't happy with the current model, with the injustices that were occurring, and they fought for something more. And after the Civil War happened, a completely new model, a new paradigm came through. Fast forward about 80 years later, around the Great Depression, World War II, again, similar type of situation. There was evil in the world. There was something new that was being asked. People rose up and fought for something new, and there was a new world that came through. Fast forward 80 years later, and we're about now, or what this book is predicting, it's about in 2030, when this new model is coming through. And what it always speaks to is there's usually a crisis that occurs. There's a group of people, and in this book, it says the millennials are the group of people that kind of lead the wave for this new type of model here. And so all this stuff is really kind of coming through right now, where AI is happening at a crazy rate. Crypto is happening at a crazy rate. There's political tensions more than ever. The world is getting hotter than it's ever been before. The record temperatures in 2023 and, plan to even beat that here in 2024. Everybody's got a side gig. I mean, there's just something new is being birthed right now in this world. And there's a lot of uncertainty. There's more opportunities than ever before, sure, but there's also more uncertainty than ever has happened. And so what is going on? What is being asked to come through? And here's my prediction. And this prediction is not just, what I've formulated on my own. This is really based on many conversations I've had with many of my teachers, with many of my coaches, with thought leaders, with founders, with tech sales professionals of what's coming through. And I want to actually take us back even before I share specifically to a specific question that I've been asking myself. And I've actually been asking myself this question since 2016. So in 2016, I had a trip to Germany. I was visiting some friends and we were going to go to Oktoberfest there. And I got there about 3 days before everybody else because I wanted to just experience Germany on my own. I wanted to go check out a couple of areas. And I remember I was riding a bike, one of those bikes that you could rent. And I remember I was also wearing a scarf. I don't know why that's important in the story, but I had never worn a scarf before. But since I was in Germany, I chose to wear a scarf and I felt really good about it. And I had this question pop up, and this question was so kind of punched me so hard in the face that I ended up even emailing my therapist, who was in Seattle, this question while I was in Germany. And here's the question: how does one both have a goal, have a vision, have something that they're working towards in this world, while also still remaining present to the current moment? How do you both have something that you're working towards while also still remaining here? It's a paradox, right? It's like, okay, it's kind of you're asking two different types of things to come through. And that's, so relatable even to sales or to leadership is like, hey, you've got this goal, you've got these numbers you have to hit, you have this, big quota in front of you that you're being required to step into. How do I, be working towards that while also still enjoying right now? Because if we're always working towards something in the future, we're always living in the future. We're never actually experiencing right now. And right now is where the gift is. Right now is where the joy is. Right now is where the love is. And so I want to just speak a little bit to this paradox right here. Actually, how to kind of solve this paradox, how to actually be able to do both at the same time. And I describe it as this, right now, I coined there's a lot of people who are, and in quotes, just another salesperson, just another sales leader, just another fit into whatever mold you want to. And for many salespeople, at least specifically who I speak with and who I coach, they're saying, I just need to hit my numbers. I just got to get promoted, right? I just got to make more money. Maybe somebody's developing a brand on LinkedIn or Instagram. I just got to increase my followers, right? It's all these things that are like, I just got to, I have to, I'm supposed to, I must. It's all in the future. And I'm not going to lie, it's exhausting. It's tiring of having to, supposed to, must. Because once you even get to the numbers or the goal that you're looking for, all of a sudden, there's a whole new goal. Right? You've created this identity of I'm always working towards the next thing here. And so how do you actually be present? Right? So as opposed to being just another sales rep, what I like to coin it as is how do you be an Alluviant leader? How do you be an Alluviant leader? And the question actually is, what the hell is an Alluviant leader, Alex? What is an Alluviant leader? So I'm gonna share what that is here. So there's two sides that we're playing with here, right? One of which is as sales professionals, as leaders, as founders, and whatever it is that you're doing, achievement is still incredibly important. Hitting your goals, working towards the next thing is still something you need to be striving for. Yes, do that. It's important. However, on the other side, where one is an achiever, on the other side of it, the polarity is coming from your essence. And what is your essence? Your essence is the unique expression of you, the thing that makes you just, open up, to come alive, to feel comfortable, right? How do you both achieve and also come from your essence? Or another way of saying it is just simply be present, be here. Right. So we've got two polarities. Let's do, and let's be. How do we do and how do we be at the exact same time? How do you work towards a goal while also still remaining present in the current moment? Here's what I call the sacred third between those two, or the sacred third is also termed as the Alluviant leader. Sacred third essentially means how do you say it's not one or the other, it's actually a combination of the two. It's a third entity that ends up coming through here. It's what I call being an Alluviant leader, right? How do you achieve while also coming from your essence? Here's what an Alluviant leader does. Here's how you actually find the two together. You've fallen in love with learning how to master the craft. You're falling in love with learning how to master the craft. Now, here's the thing. You're not yet there. You haven't fully mastered it. I'm the perfect person at this. I know how to do it, but you're starting to get it. You're starting to understand it. You're starting to say, I think I'm getting it. And you're simply enjoying that process as you're doing it. And what's beautiful when you are falling in love with learning how to master the craft, whatever that craft is, what it makes so is that everything in your life is actually serving you. One of my wonderful teachers, a guy named Rob Renahan, talks about having a sacred outlook. Everything is actually working for you. So, for example, if you are wanting to be an Alluviant leader, and part of your unique Alluviant leader is being an incredible sales professional, every single time that you have a prospect say no, every single time you have a unique objection, every single time a new competitor comes through, every single time that you have your leader tell you that you need to do X, Y, or Z better, look at it as, oh man, this is simply calling me forward to learn how to master this craft better. This is an incredible opportunity for me to learn. And when you can simply fall in love with learning how to process, guess what the byproduct of that is going to be? If you're falling in love with learning how to master your craft, the byproduct of that is you're going to achieve. You're going to hit the goal that you're actually looking for. You're going to actually step into what it is you've always actually wanted. But also the byproduct of that, when you're falling in love with learning how to master the craft, you're being incredibly present. You're experiencing the moment of what is right there because you're saying, oh my God, yes, this is teaching me something, right? This is helping me to master this here. Right. And so just to kind of like paint the picture, just to back up, it's almost like there's like a triangle, right? On the bottom right-hand corner of the triangle says achievement. On the other left-hand corner of the triangle says essence. That point right in the middle is what's called that sacred third. That's you being an Alluviant leader. That's you falling in love with learning how to master the craft. The question becomes, what's the craft? What is the craft that you are learning how to master? Right? Certain parts of it could be being a better seller. Certain parts of it could be being a better leader. Certain parts of it could be being a better partner, a father, a mother, right? Whatever it might be. But you want to know what the true craft is? The real craft that you are mastering? It's you. It's actually you. Each of us has something that is incredibly unique about us, right? We each have different backgrounds, have had different opportunities, have different challenges, different mentors, different families, all this sort of stuff. And all of that is put together to make exactly us. And there's something unique that's wanting to come through you, wanting to be the authentic expression of you. Now, what's really interesting is that when you study wavelengths, right, if you go back to physics class, the wavelength that's coming off of you, the vibration that's coming off of you, the most potent and powerful wavelength is authenticity. When people are so fucking themselves, are so uniquely and unapologetically them, man, they're attractive. Right? If you're at a party and you see somebody walk in the door and they just are like, oh my God, they're wearing the clothes that look exactly like they are just them. And it might even be weird and might be loud, but they're just so confident in themselves. There's almost like a field that's around them. You look at them, you're like, I don't know who that person is, but like, I like them. I want to be that person, right? Or I want to be friends with that person. And the beauty of that is that when other people are mastering the craft of themselves, are actually simply embodying the unique expression of themselves, the beauty of that is that causes other people to want to do the same thing. This is the beauty of it. When you are falling in love with learning how to master the craft of you, not only is the byproduct that going to be you're going to achieve more, not only is the byproduct that going to be you're feeling very present, experiencing joy, the byproduct that is you're going to be leading this movement that's calling other people forward to simply be more themselves. And think about living in a world. This is what I'm talking about, even with this new, 2030, the fourth turning is coming here, right? There's a new model. And with it, everybody is themselves. Now, the thing is, though, I want you to imagine what would it be like if you were completely and unapologetically yourself? If what you did every single day was simply an expression of this is who I am and what wants to come through me. That would be unbelievably powerful, because what it would allow you to do is to actually sell yourself on that, right? I want you to imagine, even let's just say 5 years from now, everything that you've wanted has come true. You are embodying who you want to be. All of your negative or fear or whatever things might be in you, it's gone. Your dreams are actually possible, right? The strengths that you have are coming through. You're impacting people in a positive way. I want you to sell yourself on that person. Man, it would be good to be them. Think about who else that would impact if you were that person right there. Think about how your clients would respond to you differently. Think about how your kids or your friends would respond to you differently. Think about how your partner would respond to you differently, right? And can you imagine waking up every single day and you're excited to wake up and you look in the mirror and you look at yourself like, damn, that person is incredible. They're extraordinary. I love that person right there. Wouldn't it be good to be them? When you sell yourself on becoming that person, there's a new level of commitment that comes through, right? You're not just committed to it, you are a commitment to it. There's a difference between being committed and being a commitment. Being a commitment means that simply the expression of you in everything you do, from how you walk down the street to how you buy a cup of coffee to how you talk to people to how you work out, is simply an expression of being a commitment to that version of you. And it's not just being a commitment from your head mentally, it's being a commitment from your freaking soul to actually be the expression of that. And that's my ask of you here. That's what we have the opportunity to do, to be a commitment to simply learning who we are, to mastering the craft of us. You have something unique and beautiful about you. The world wants to see it. In fact, they want to feel it. My ask is to fall in love with that. Fall in love with not just your future self, fall in love with the process of learning how to become yourself. That, my friends, is when something really special can start to happen. That, my friends, is when this new paradigm, this new model that we're all getting the opportunity to step into, that, my friends, is what a new community looks like, what friends and family looks like. That's what corporations look like. That's the opportunity. So if you're in, be a commitment to it from your soul. And if you're wanting help on that, well, the Alluviants community is here for you. I'll first say that. We've got our next intro immersion August 9th through 11th in Austin, Texas. We've got about 15 spots. About 8 of them are filled, so we are more than halfway filled, and we're already only 4 months out. So it's happening. People want this. People want to also be surrounded by other people who are also wanting this. That's the beauty here. That's what you get. And just imagine what's possible. Be the change that you want to see in the world. Thank you for listening to this, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Love y'all. Thanks for listening to the Rising Leader Podcast. Make sure you hit that follow button so you get notified every time a new episode releases. If you know someone who wants to take their lives and their career to the next level, send them this episode so we can all rise together. For more information, check out alluviants.co. We'll see you next time. And in the meantime, keep letting it flow.